thought highly of him there, but what's it like just to kind of see him where he is now, watch him on film and all that stuff now?
He's had a phenomenal career. I guess he's going in year 8 or year 9, and being in a not for long league. Anybody that's put together a career of that type of tenure, it speaks for itself. Definitely going to be a challenge for us. He's doing a great job in what he's doing in that system, and he's been in it for a minute. You know, all the talent is there. I remember the plays he was able to make for us when we were in New York, and so I definitely know he's going to step into the game with a chip on his shoulder. And, you know, it's even easier on a quarterback when you have the type of weapons that he's throwing to, and those guys, and the type of protection that the line can do. They got a lot of weapons over there, so it's going to be a challenge for us. We're going to have our hands full.
Do you see a lot of big differences in Geno then and now, or is he kind of the same guy? Or
oh no, I mean a ton. You know, I mean, there's many years in the game. He was a young player. I saw him from the time he was drafted. You know, and so all the things he knows, he's learned over those years are showing. Like I said, the talent has always been there. His arm strength, his mobility in the pocket. But now you can just see his decision making, the throws he's making inside and outside the pocket, the time he's getting the ball out. He's just doing a lot of things well, and you know, they're fortunate to have a guy that's a number 2 guy that can come in and play like a starter. So when you have that type of setup, it bodes well for your team, and for us, it presents a great challenge.
So whether it's hurricane stuff or injuries or whatever, Sean is big on no one cares. No one cares about if we've got half the team hurt, we still have to show up and play. So how big of a role does Sean play with that mindset of, you know, adversity happens, but we still have to keep going?
Well, I think that's part of the game. You know, you're going to have ups, you're going to have downs. You know, no matter what's going on around you. One of the quotes DA always says is, you know, half the people don't care about your problem and the rest of them are glad that you got them. You know, and so you have to have that mentality that, you know, it's just us, and that's what we always have to be focused on. How can we be better? How can we get better every single day? And when the game comes, we can go out and put the best product on the field. And so, and each and every week, you know, continue to perfect your process and get better and better, so that you can make the climb and be where you want to be towards the end of the year. And ever since I've been here, that's been the mindset of the culture, and Sean, you know, plays a great job in leading us in that mindset and making sure that everyone in the building has that mentality. And I mean, that's just what you adopt, you know, as a Saint.
Hey, Demario, Sean has a really good record after the bye. Is that something that he does, you think, that kind of like helps his team just reset like it does? I mean, he's like, I think he's 18-2 over the first 4 games after a bye over the past 5 years. But what is it about the bye you think that Sean does well, that as far as getting you all ready to get back going?
I think it's a multitude of things. Sean does a good job. He's been around the game for a long time. He's seen almost everything you can see that this game is going to present to you, whether it's the field, whether it's, you know, traveling to the West Coast, whether it's you know, different things that teams are going to throw at you. He just does a good job of making sure that we're prepared for any and all of those situations. And then speaking to what was said earlier, he created a good culture. You know, we have a lot of veterans who know how to prepare, you know, prior to a bye, after a bye. And you know, and creating that winning culture that no matter what the situation is, whether it's, you know, every game is just the next one on your schedule, and you go in and you expect to win. So I think he's just done a great job of creating that culture, kind of making sure that culture is perpetual. So it's a lot that kind of goes into it, and hopefully it continues to go well for us.
Not saying that any or all of them, whether that's Quan or Marcus Davenport or Ken, or I can keep going, will be back this week, but how good does it feel knowing that, you know, 7 of the guys on injured reserve are working their way back?
I mean, we got to roll what we got. You know, we have a very good locker room with a lot of talented players. first string, second string, offense, defense, special teams. And so every time that we step out there, no matter who it is, we're just trying to put the best product on the field. And we know we like our chances when we step out there.
Are we making too big of a deal when it comes to the number of sacks and the lack of pressure? We've been asking Cam that the last couple of weeks, or is it something we're not seeing that you guys are actually doing when it doesn't show up on a stat sheet?
Yeah, I think we've been highly effective in our pressure rates, and that's really what our mindset is affect the quarterback, and that has boded well for us, in years when we've had a ton of sacks, and we're doing that, and across the board we're getting pressure on the quarterback. Now they may still get the ball out, it may not end up on the ground, but eventually they're going to try to pat it and hold it a little bit longer and not be able to throw that ball, and we're going to be in position to get them to the ground. And that's why we've always finished around the top of the league in that category, is because we have a good game plan. We got players who can execute that game plan at a high level, and we'll continue to do that. And so, we don't get as hyped up in the number of sacks, because we understand it's a lot more that goes into it than just the number of sacks, right? It's actually to get a good pressure on the quarterback, and we've been doing that. But our standard is just high. We want to be first in every category, and so not only do we want to be up there in pressures, we eventually want to be up there in sacks too. And so we're gonna keep chasing, but we ain't bogged down about the sacks not being there like they normally are, or anything like that, because we're affecting the quarterback at a high rate.
As a defensive player going into a place like Seattle where the weather is what it is, man, it's always feels like it's always raining, it's windy, it's a little bit cold. As a defensive player, do you guys kind of like that, playing in those type of football games?
I mean, I do. Anywhere it's not crazy hot, I'm happy. I sweat a lot, so as long as the temperature is down and not super crazy, which we had a couple early on, so I had to prepare for those. But anytime the weather's down, I'm happy. And so it don't matter the environment. You got to come ready to play when you step inside those lines. We trying to create as much fear, havoc, and inflict as much pain as possible. That's and defend every blade of grass in the process. That's just our mentality on defense, and we want to continue to do that.
How have you seen Pete Werner kind of come into his own over, training camp and now the first 5 games of the season?
Phenomenal. That's the way he's played here as a rookie has just been phenomenal, and literally he's shown that the sky is the limit for him, and so it's just going to be all about his continued progression. But he is playing, light years ahead of where you expect a rookie to play. I mean, his athletic ability, his closing speed, his tenacity on his tackles, his instincts, his smarts. I mean, it all speaks for itself. I mean, just turn the tape on, you're going to see him. And so he's played absolutely phenomenal, and just excited to see him continue to grow as a player.
I have a non-football question.
Okay.
Unless just yours is football related. Where did the name Stormy come from?
My oldest daughter actually named our girl. So my wife and I, we always wanted 6 kids, or early on we wanted 6 kids, and so we named 3 girls and 3 boys before we even had children. And so when the 4th girl, we didn't really have a name, and so our oldest is Bailey Grace, our 2nd is Summer Joy, our 3rd is Carly Faith. All our kids have double names, and so we were looking for another biblical attribute or something. So we knew it was going to be Love something, but we didn't have a first name. And my oldest daughter ended up coming out saying one day, we should name her Stormy Love. My wife liked it, my mom liked it, my mother-in-law liked it, and so there it was.
How interesting is that it came during the hurricane?
Then it came during the storm, and then it came through the storm, and so we hope it's a calm storm.
Thanks, Mark.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
Scary without the enemy. It's only scary.